Greetings, math fans. All right, so this is day 6 notes of chapter 8a, and basically what we're going to do is we're doing everything that we did before as far as factoring, but now we're going to solve. And we've actually done that before as well. So we're kind of actually, not really learning anything new here. It's basically the last several days of this chapter has been greatest common factor, has been difference of two squares, has been trinomial, and now what we're going to do is we're going to set those equal to 0 and we're going to solve. Okay, so remember, whenever you see, just to kind of give you a little review here, whenever you see a parenthesis or some variable outside of parenthesis, you're going to set that equal to 0. That's the key. Okay, if it's a number, if this instead of an x here was like a 5, then you don't set that equal to 0. You just ignore that. Okay, so it's really, really important. So we're going to have to factor everything first, and then you set it equal to 0. So the first few sections here, it basically tells you which type of factoring it is. So in this case here, it tells you its greatest common factor. So our greatest common factor for this one is going to be 3x. Because remember, you get the smallest exponent. So x squared and x. So it's going to be x. And then, of course, 3 goes into 6. And 3 goes into 15. It's the smallest number. So you get 3x times 2x plus 5. Okay, so this is kind of what we did yesterday and several days before that, and now each one of those gets set equal to 0. So 3x equals 0, and 2x plus 5 equals 0. Divide by 3, ooh. So x equals 0, subtract 5, 2x equals negative 5, divide by 2x equals negative 5 halves. So 0 and negative 5 halves. Okay, pretty easy. All right, next one. Again, this is the greatest common factor, so we're going to divide everything by 10x. So you get 10x, and then parentheses gives us just x left over and minus 10. So 10x equals 0, x minus 10 equals 0. So x equals 10 here, divide by 10, x equals 0. So two answers, 10 and 0. Okay, pretty easy, right? Not bad. Okay, the next one, difference of two squares. Okay, you guys know how to do that, right? It's going to be, first of all, you recognize it's a difference of squares, two squares, it's x squared and a 9, perfect squares, and there's a minus sign, very, very important. So you're going to get x plus 3 and x minus 3. Okay, you guys should be good at that. So x plus 3 equals 0, x minus 3 equals 0. So subtract 3, x equals 3, or negative 3. And add 3 to both sides. So x equals positive 3. So 3 and negative 3. Okay, this one, again, easy. X plus 8, x minus 8. So x plus 8 equals 0. X equals negative 8. And add 8 to both, or sorry, it should be x minus 8 equals 0. And then add 8. X equals 8. Okay, pretty easy. Next one, factoring trinomials. So again, remember the signs are plus plus. What multiplies, this is x and x, what multiplies to give you 10? Well, it's 10 and 1 or 5 and 2. And then of course it's got to be 5 and 2 because 5 plus 2 is 7. So 5 and 2, that equals 0. And then you said one of those equal to 0. 5 plus, x plus 5 equals 0. And x plus 2 equals 0. So x equals negative 5, x equals negative 2. Okay, pretty easy. Next one, x and x, and then plus plus. So 10 is 5 and 2, but the one that works here, because this was also 10, but this one is actually the 10 and 1, because 10 plus 1 is 11. So x plus 10 equals 0. X plus 1 equals 0. Subtract 10. X equals negative 10. And subtract 1. X equals negative 1. Okay, pretty easy. Now, the next few, they're all mixed up. So you just have to kind of know what to do. Well, I see 3 terms. I'm going to go with trinomial. So xx, it's plus, but it's a minus here, so that means it's double negative. and 5 times 3 is 15, so 5 plus 3 is 8. So it's 5 and 3. Okay? So x minus 5 equals 0, x minus 3 equals 0, add 5, x equals 5, and add 3. Okay, sweet. Okay, this one's two terms. Is it a difference of two squares? Nope. 14 is certainly not a perfect square, and x is not a perfect square, and 7 is not a perfect square, but there is a greatest common factor, so I can factor out a 7x. And I get 2x minus 1 equals 0. So 7x equals 0, 2x minus 1 equals 0. Divide by 7. X equals 0. Add 1. 2x equals 1. Divide by 2. X equals 1/2. Okay, so 0 and 1/2. Right, pretty easy to recognize it. When I look at number 9, that's a difference of two squares. 4 is perfect square, 25 is perfect square, negative between them. So we're going to get 2x plus 5 and 2x minus 5. Okay, 2x plus 5 equals 0, and 2x minus 5 equals 0. So subtract 5, 2x equals negative 5. Divide by 2, x is negative 5/2. Okay, this one, I'm going to add 5, and I get 2x equals 5. Divide by 2, x is positive 5/2. Okay, there you go. Two answers. All right, so trinomial. And this is plus minus. So which one subtract to give you 5, and then multiply to give you 24? Well, again, if I do 12 and 2, 12 minus 2 is 10. How about 8 and 3? Because 8 minus 3 is 5, and that's what we're looking for. If that was negative, then the 8 would be negative, but the 8 is positive, and the 3 is negative. Okay? So x plus 8 equals 0, x minus 3 equals 0. Okay, x equals negative 8. X equals 3. Okay, all right, we're cruising along here. Okay, what do I get factor out of this one? Negative 4x. So negative 4x, and then parentheses, you're just going to get x plus 2. Okay, so negative 4x equals 0. X plus 2 equals 0. Divide by negative 4. X equals 0. Subtract 2. X equals negative 2. Okay, that's it. And then number 12, last one. Difference of two squares, so 7x and 7x. And then plus 1 and minus 1. Set it equal to 0, so 7x plus 1 equals 0, and 7x minus 1 equals 0. So subtract 1, 7x equals negative 1. Divide by 7x equals negative 1/7. Add 1. 7x equals 1. X is positive 1/7. Okay. And I believe that is it. That is it. Okay. So that's it, math fans. So again, the only thing you really did now is you kind of combine the different types of problems, and then you solve for x for each of these. Okay? So that's it, math fans. Have an outstanding day. Adios. Goodbye.